The wind howled across the dry plains of Dakota Territory when Jedediah Crane rode into town. He was a man of means, owned near 10,000 acres and more cattle than he could count, but the ranch house echoed hollow at night. Folks said a man like him ought to have a wife, someone to soften the silence. So when the mail-order brides rolled off the stagecoach that spring, Jed stood by the hitching post, boots dusty, hat low. One by one the women were claimed until only one was left. The others whispered about her, shaking their heads. "That one's cursed," they said. "No man wants her." Her name was Lila May. She stood quiet, hands clasped, a plain bonnet shading her face. Jed, feeling more pity than passion, stepped forward. "Miss," he said gruffly, "I could use a wife on the Crane spread. Ain't much, but it's honest work." She nodded once. "I'll work hard, sir." Her voice was soft as creek water. They rode back to his ranch in silence, the sun bleeding red behind the hills. When they arrived, he helped her down, still not having seen her face proper. Inside, he said, "Best take off your bonnet, Mrs. Crane." She hesitated, then lifted it slow. Jed's breath caught. A scar ran from her temple to her chin, white and deep, a cruel mark of fire or blade. But it wasn't the scar that froze him. It was her eyes, blue as twilight, steady and sorrowful. Eyes he knew. "Lila May?" he whispered. "From Cedar Ridge?" She nodded. "You left me there, Jed. Thought I died in that fire." He staggered back like he'd been shot. Years ago, he'd loved her fierce, then fled when the blaze took her family. Guilt had driven him west, made him rich but not whole. Now here she stood, the woman he'd lost and betrayed, wearing his name again. Outside, the wind kicked dust against the windows. Inside, two ghosts stood staring, bound not by law or paper, but by the ashes of a past neither could escape.